Every summer, we regret buying a house with a pool, and I'm going to show you exactly why. We had to bring in reinforcements because this is a 4-person job. We live in Michigan, so we get a lot of snow, and our neighbor has this huge tree, so we get a lot of debris on our covers. So this year we decided to each take a corner, which we had to have my parents come over and try to just drag the pool cover over, because if you can see where the water is, the pool water is that far up, even though we had drained it so much over the winter time. So it's a lot of water that we didn't want to get all that debris into. And this is what our pool looks like after an entire winter covered up. So we're gonna keep showing you guys the progression of the pool getting better. Like, look at how dark it is here. But I can actually see the bottom a little bit, which is impressive. This is our best friend in the summer. This is our robotic cleaner, which we love him. He actually went in a little bit, and you can see where he's already cleaned at. So he's doing an amazing job. Chef's kiss. Now we're trying to get up all the leaves and debris that was under the pool cover, so we don't have to track any of that into the pool and while we're walking around. And then our huge cover, we moved on to that to start brushing off all of that debris that you guys saw in the earlier video. And I finished by blowing the patio.
The robotic cleaner fired. He ain't doing his job. That pool was green like some cash money. Look at this next clip. She gonna tell you why you don't need to buy no house with no pool.
Guys, fun story. For all of you homeowners that have a pool, this is a bit of advice. And for those of you that want a home with a pool, don't do it. So Thursday, my daughter says the pool is going empty. I didn't believe her. So she ran to Daddy and said, Daddy, Mommy's not listening. The pool is going empty. And he was like yelling my name. When we get out here, this fucking humongous pool was damn near empty. You know what it was? I know exactly what I did. I put the phosphate remover solution in the pool and forgot to do a backwash. So the hose to the filter pops off and all that water was all here. And that's why the pool was going empty. So I've been filling this water up since Thursday, about 8 hours a day. And finally today I was able to do the backwash and able to turn on the filter again. So yeah, if you don't have a pool, don't do it to yourself. This is a lot of freaking work. So yeah, and if you have a pool, make sure you do a backwash every time that you put a solution in there to balance your water. That's my advice. Yeah, have a good night.
Don't buy a house with a swimming pool. Don't do it. Look, listen to me. Listen to me. If you're a first-time home buyer and you're currently looking to buy a house, I get it. A house with a swimming pool in specific areas where it's hot sounds very, very nice. But let me tell you, no. Look, if you know that you're barely going to afford your monthly payment, don't even do it. Don't even do it. I've been here for about a year in this house. I've already spent just on things about $3,000. You see, the thing about a swimming pool, and I've done this video and I'm doing it again because I have another problem again. You see, these swimming pools, they're a money pit, man. Better off going to the park and just having your kids over there play. I get it. Having kids, swimming pool is nice. I love it. I personally do love it. But these things break. These things break. Let me show you what broke this time. This past Sunday, we were having a barbecue. I woke up on Monday morning and there was no flow on the swimming pool. Like the filter, it needs to filter for like 8 hours a day. That costs money, right? Because of the energy. Here I call somebody because there's no flow, so I gotta fix it. That costs money to fix. Look at it now. Let me show you. Let me show you. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. How much you think that's gonna be? I don't even know what happened. They fixed one thing, another thing broke. The heater gave out. That's like $3,000. Apparently that motor is super old. I'm gonna have to change it very, 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 very soon. That's like $2,000. That thing right there, just throwing out water somehow. I don't know what happened there. they're gonna have to fix the piping. How much do you think that's gonna be? Don't do it. Don't do it. Take my advice.
Don't ever buy a house with a pool. Thank me later.
Hey, that black guy clip, that wasn't even a clip. He just, that's how you know he's serious. He came on and off, man. This next guy's gonna tell you how it can be one of the biggest mistakes you can make by putting a pool in your backyard. Let's look what he got to say.
Putting a pool in your backyard can be one of the biggest mistakes of your life. Not because pools are bad, but because most people completely underestimate the risk that comes with them. I heard a story from a friend about a summer barbecue where kids are swimming, adults are nearby, everything feels normal. And then one kid slips near the edge of the pool, hits their head right to the emergency room. And within weeks, the homeowners weren't just sort of dealing with their own sort of fear and guilt about what happened, but they were dealing with medical bills, lawyers, an insurance claim that turned their lives completely upside down. And this is not rare. Serious pool accidents happen all the time. And they usually involve people friends, neighbors, kids, not strangers breaking into your backyard, even though that does happen too. The problem is how fast these claims escalate. Medical costs add up quickly, legal exposure follows, and what starts as an accident can turn into a financial disaster that could cost you your life savings. A lot of homeowners assume that their standard liability coverage is enough, and they don't realize how quickly those limits can be exhausted. Pools are considered high risk by insurers for a reason. And, one accident can easily exceed a basic homeowner's policy limits. That's why extra liability coverage and real safety, matters so much, and why insurance agents push that a lot, because this is one of those risks that people don't think about until it's too late.
Nah, he's spitting. And this next lady, the pool ain't even done yet. She in the middle of the building it. She already regretting it. It's too late now. Nah, you gotta go on with it.
Let's talk about the things I might already be regretting. I'm putting a pool in my backyard, and I'm showing you guys the progress from beginning to end. Let me get my jacket on and go show you in case you're new and you haven't seen the progress. As with the progress of anything I have built or done in my life, I already have a few regrets. So I have 9 grandchildren, and I just got to wonder, did I go too small? I mean, the ship has literally sailed, but we're going to just have to make do. But it's a 16 by 32, and I got to wonder if I should have gone a little bigger with this many family members. 8 children, 9 grandchildren. Yeah, it's going to be a party every weekend. Super impressed with the people I hired to do the work. So far, communication is excellent. These guys are so good. Our only problem, really, my husband spent a lot of time on this yard, guys, and so he's having a little bit of anxiety about his yard being torn up, but I mean, it's just part of the process, right? So I guess my only real regret might be the size of the pool, but also, should I add more concrete around the edges? I mean, I still have time to change that up. 12 feet on the back side, 8 feet on the retainer wall side, 6 feet at the shallow end, and 4 feet at the deep end. I can still add concrete if I want to, but that costs money. I don't know. It's so hard to decide. I'm documenting this whole process, so in case you're thinking about a pool, you can watch me go through the steps, and maybe it'll help you when you start to build yours. Give me a follow and share this out for other people who might be thinking about building a pool. I have no idea what's happening tomorrow. We shall see.
We are undoubtedly making some poor financial decisions with our custom home build, but by far the worst decision we are making financially is a pool. And I have zero desire to have a pool, but I have 2 young children, and our hope is that the memories that pool creates outweighs the financial disaster that it's going to be. With that said, please tell me that the kids are going to love it, because if the kids never actually get into the thing, I am going to lose my mind next week. We've got to go pick out all the different elements, the color, the decking between travertine or marble. So if you've ever had to make these decisions, any input would be greatly appreciated. It's one of those things where it's so much more difficult to do after the fact, so we decided to do it during the build, even though it is a little bit more expensive with that GC markup. We just figured now's the time. But you know what? Now that I'm outside and it's 90 degrees and it will probably stay this way until at least September, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe a pool is the right decision after all. You tell me.
Don't buy a pool. Don't buy a house. You wonder what I'm doing? Yeah. You know where I'm walking out? Yeah, I'm not going out to go to work. I'm doing this. You happen to know what that is? Yeah, probably not. Why? Because you don't own a swimming pool like me. You mean the devil? Thinks the devil right there. So another day of Dustin versus his stupid swimming pool. Oh yeah. That, my friend, is not a friend. For a little bit of recap of information. That right there, placed last year. I'm not sure how much. I think it was like $1,000. These right here, those were replaced a couple months ago. Yeah, $1,500 a piece, not including plumbing. And then we're here. So that, my friend, had a 2-year warranty. Guess whenever it died? 3 days after the 2-year warranty. And now the company is not doing anything. Yeah, that's another $1,500. You want a swimming pool? I'm going to tell you what to do. Let me come kick you in the nuts, take your money, kick you in the nuts again, because that's what it's going to feel like. And then you can just come use mine. Please, for the love of God, just use mine. Had some big boys decide that they want to be big boys and break my diving board last year, and I haven't replaced it yet. Why? Because I've got, a small car payment around here of new plumbing parts. Look at this. Look. Woo! See my money going all down the drain. Yep. Just mother. Don't buy a pool. Don't buy a house with a pool. If you got an agent who tells you to buy a house with one pool, kick them in the nuts too. That's your pool talk of the day.
Then a lot of y'all don't even swim like that. Y'all don't even like to swim. Y'all probably don't even swim enough to even have the maintenance of a swimming pool. Growing up, we had a swimming pool. Couldn't none of us swim. It was and it wasn't like these houses coming with it. We had an inflatable pool. Yeah, and my mom she was afraid one of us was gonna drown in that thing. But guess what? That was a pool that you just blew up and you put a little water in there, and that was it. You couldn't really. I don't even know, with 4 brothers, 4 boys. I don't even know why we did that. We were just in there. You couldn't even move. You couldn't even swim. You couldn't do nothing. Okay, but let's look at this next clip.
A pool is one of the most expensive single things you'll ever put in a luxury home anywhere. They run from $80,000 to over $300,000. And in the showroom, well, they're going to push straight towards features that look incredible on the sales floor and fall apart in your backyard. Most of them won't show you the regret until a year or 3 or 5 down the road. And fixing them could mean tearing it out and starting over. Whoa! I built and maintained pools across high-end projects down here in Naples, Florida, and I watched the same handful of features get ripped out over and over. So these are 5 pool features you'll regret in 5 years. In fact, these are the 5 I flat out refuse to put in my own projects, no matter what the homeowner asks for. No, I'm kidding, because if they ask for it and they're paying me, I'll do it. Let's jump into it, like we jump into a pool. Splash! Feature number 1, Pebble Tech or any other aggregate pool finishes. This has been the most heavily marketed luxury pool finish for the last 15 years. Plaster mixed with little exposed pebbles, sold to you as a 10 to 20 year finish with a natural look and a premium feel underfoot. Here's what actually happens. In a chlorinated pool, it starts fading unevenly within 3 to 5 years. And every time it gets cleaned, the abrasion wears the pebbles down and exposes the cement underneath. Any iron or leaf staining that gets into it can be permanent. And there's no pool chemistry on earth that brings it back. And that premium feel underfoot, well, it doesn't last that long either. Once those pebbles wear down, it goes from interesting to flat out abrasive on your feet. So instead of that 15 to 20 years you were promised, you're replastering every 7 to 10 at a price of $8,000 to $15,000 a pop. Now, if you want a finish that actually lasts, go with a classic white plaster. It can be called Marcite, or for a low maintenance modern look, go with a glass bead finish like Beadcrete or Diamond Bright. Feature number 2, a salt chlorination system on a concrete or gunite pool. And before the salt people come at me for this one in the comments, hear me out, because the salt system itself is fine. The problem is sometimes what you pair it with. A salt system makes its own chlorine from dissolved salt in the water. So you're not handling chemicals, and it's gentler on your skin, and that's true. But salt is also brutal on everything around a concrete pool. It corrodes your coping, it can eat at your travertine and your limestone decks. It rusts out metal ladders, light housings, and screen enclosure frames, and goes after the stainless in any outdoor kitchen that could be nearby. The salt cell itself, well, they can fail after about 5 to 7 years, and they run between $700 and $2,000 to replace. And over time, the salt water works its way into the concrete shell, which causes spalling, and in the worst cases, corrodes the rebar inside. Now, down here in Florida, where the soil is already salty, you're just compounding the damage. Add it all up, and you're looking at $10,000 to $30,000 in deck, coping, and equipment repairs over a 10-year period. Salt systems are great on fiberglass or vinyl lino pools where salt never touches concrete. On a concrete pool, it's an active material conflict. Feature.
This is a PSA for all of you home buyers, potential home buyers. If you have a pool that you are looking at buying, like a house with a pool, please, please, please pay the extra money to get a pool inspector. Your regular old inspector won't do it. They're just not gonna do it. They don't know what to look for. We are now about to have to drop $25,000 on a pool in the backyard of a home that we have owned for less than a year. 9 months. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, let me see if I can flip this around. So I'm working with 2 different pool companies, and as you can see, there's divots here. All of the debris has settled because the pool company I'm going through has put algaecide in the pool because it was growing algae, because we're trying to deal with this. But there's little divots all around the bottom of the pool that are breaking down that vermiculite because there's leaks in this pool. There's leaks in every return jet. And the pool companies that I've gone through have said that there's no way that the previous owners didn't know about it. That's what really grinds my gears. This skimmer right now, this skimmer right here in this return jet, right with the skimmer, biggest leak, biggest crack. They can't even, like, everything's gonna have to be redone. The returns are gonna have to, plumbing's gonna have to be redone. We're gonna have to get a whole new liner. That vermiculite down behind the liner all has to be redone for this whole pool. And pretty sure we're screwed. This was never disclosed on the disclosure when we went to buy the house. The pool inspector didn't catch it. So yes, this is my PSA for all you potential home buyers who are looking at buying a house with a pool. It has caused so much heartache and stress and anxiety. I'm just gonna give it to God. We're gonna just go ahead and, I guess, take a loan out and get it dealt with, because we can't just let it go. But if you are buying a home with a pool, get it inspected, please. Now, if anyone wants to watch our story on how we picked this house and how we bought this house, we did an episode of House Hunters. It is season 242, episode 1. You want to see our house, you want to see us looking at the house, us picking the house, go ahead and tune in. HGTV House Hunters, season 242, episode 1.
Come on, y'all need to listen to it. Get that pool inspected. All types of bacterias and fungi, and fungi are not fungi. They're bad people. You get that fungi in your ear, your nose, it's over with, my brother. It's not supposed to be in there. So get that pool inspected. Look at the next.
If you ever buy a house and it has a pool and you're wondering what it costs to resurface the pool deck, I can tell you what we were quoted. So this is the situation. This is the pool. We have had we've had trouble with this pool. The filter's broken at the moment. We're going to get it repaired. It's not in good shape, but the surface of the pool deck is chipping off. So red is like taking off where it's loose. We got a quote to resurface this whole area, and I was worried it was going to be expensive, and it was expensive. The quote was $10,300. If we get quotes like that, that's when we learn new skills. It's not in the budget. So we are going to try to put some self-leveler down and see if we can kind of patch this and paint it to match. So stay tuned.
I just invested in one of the most useless things ever that will never increase the value of my home. And that's a pool. When you buy a pool in Chicago, okay, in very few markets is it an add or value add to a buyer. Your pool, such as the one my neighbor has, is actually a detriment to you selling your home. A lot of buyers do not want them at all. And it doesn't add any value to your home. I don't care how nice it is, how much you spent on it. Doesn't add not nearly anything to your home in Illinois. And the reason is because a few. One, it's an expense. It's a liability. People with kids typically don't want a pool. It's a lot of extra maintenance, especially with the cost of buying a home and maintaining it right now. They don't want the expense or the danger because kids drown in pools. I don't care how big of a fence or how you have it locked up. A lot of buyers will look at it and go, that's just not something we want. Don't waste your money on a really, really nice pool unless you are planning on staying for a really, really long time. I have in numerous occasions seen buyers get under contract and say, hey, yeah, we'll take the house. We like this, but we want you to take the pool out. And then the seller usually says, well, I'm not going to take it out. And they go, well, I want a credit to have it removed because I don't want the pool at all. Hope this helps. Take care, guys.
That man said the worst thing, that it won't even increase the value of his home. You know what I'm saying? People don't like swimming like that, man. Especially I live in Texas. Bro, it's too hot. You try to go to the pool, you might melt before you get there. And you're not going to make it to the pool. And if I want to get in the pool, I just get in the bath. Get in the bath, put the water on cold. Pools is one thing, but you got people regretting their whole home. If y'all want to see that nonsense and madness, click here. Hey, it's all good. But look, man, it's been Josh from Talk to Him, boy. If y'all know anybody who needs to talk about these swimming pools going through this nonsense, y'all can't even swim, man. If y'all know anybody going through this, drop them down in the comments down below. I want to talk to y'all. It's been Josh from Talk to Him, boy, and I just talked to you, boy. I'm out.